In Pakistan, what do you think is harder, running a ministry or bootstrapping a startup?
That's a great question, and both has its own challenges. In a public sector position in Pakistan, contrary to popular belief, there is no dearth of resources. I run two ministries in the federal government. I can't tell you the amount of money that is sitting in various bank accounts, but it might be in hundreds of billions of rupees. So there is no dearth of resources. There is also no dearth of authority. You could actually get a lot done. However, what ails the public sector is quality of manpower and incentivization of manpower to deliver. In fact, in an environment like the one that we have, you are punished more for what you do than what you don't. And when I was in Punjab, I was the principal accounting officer of the Punjab IT board. I was the secretary IT for Government of Punjab. So everything had to be done with my signatures. And I would write approved on every file that was put up to me. Of course, after a lot of discussion and making sure everything's fine, but I would stick my neck out and say, I'm going to sign that off. You go and do it. I will face the music. And people kept reminding me that I will have to someday face the music, which I did. And I never thought I'll have to, because we were so scrupulously honest and so thorough and so rigorous in what we did. And still, there was all this hoopla around it. So there is a kind of this on and off witch hunting and politicization of good work maybe discourages good people from coming in. The compensation structures, service structure for bureaucracy, all of that has long outlived its utility. That needs to be revisited. So what you're kind of held back by, and in the federal government, by the way, the salaries are not too bad. I could hire people on decent private scale salaries now. Wasn't the case in provincial government, by the way. But no one's willing to work. They're like, okay, when would the direction of the wind change? Who would then come and save me? This looks troublesome. There's a lot of trolling going on social media around this project. This media wala is going after this project. There's a court stay around this, and so on and so. So there's a lot. This whole system, we've poisoned the well to a point that no one's willing to drink from it, and that's what ails the public sector right now. In the private sector, there are of course huge challenges. One, high quality HR. Finding high quality HR is difficult. Even though we live in the fifth most populous country in the world, finding if one of my senior software developer leaves from my company, it becomes a monumental task to go and replace him with an equally competent person. So dearth of good HR certainly is a big challenge in the private sector, even though your compensation structures and so on are better there. And then there are, of course, all these challenges where, finding uninterrupted internet is a challenge. Making sure that you invest in a big generator and then a backup of that generator to make sure you keep getting electricity and so on. And then this perception that unfortunately surrounds Pakistan. People like me are PR savvy. We do good work and then we want to make sure that that work gets highlighted. You approach any foreign publication with a story from Pakistan. If it doesn't fit into their lens of terrorism, minority rights, feminism, that story is not going to sell. So if I've done great work with startups in Pakistan, no one's willing to publish this. You will never hear in New York Times that Pakistan tech startups are taking off. That's not a story they're interested in. They are interested in a story where a mob goes in and burns a mosque. That's the story New York Times is going to publish. So unfortunately, the perception that surrounds this country is also not conducive to building globally competitive high-tech businesses, because they depend, or any other industry, I presume. So those are challenges that one faces in the private sector. But people like me look at options and embrace the most painful one. That's almost a strategy I followed all my life. And there are challenges in Pakistan, sure, but there are 5 times those challenges in Silicon Valley. So therefore that bit doesn't scare entrepreneurs. Going in and saying, well, we want to invest in an office without windows. We'll develop our software, a startup, we're going to bootstrap, we're going to work in a garage. with a tabletop, with a door put on few tires as the replacement of a fine table. By the way, that's called the Amazon table still. Amazon, that is the Amazon table. That's how they started out, and I think still continues to hold on to that legacy from what I'm told. That's how startups are made. So to bootstrap, to really work hard for every penny, to scale your business, go through that challenge, go through that grind, is something that folks like me enjoy. So that's not something that scares me. I get up every morning, I'm motivated, I know I'm creating something that's not existed before. This is innovative, this is great work. I'm going to compete, and show them that we can build $1 billion company in Pakistan. Public sector's challenge is none of that. You show up, you can get 50 things done. The only issue is that the system is now a poisoned well that we all need to come together and make sure we fix. If we don't, then eventually, all good people are going to get pushed away from this, and you'll end up with what you'll end up, and that would be disastrous, which it currently is, and there's years of poor decision making that has gone into various sectors. And look at the energy sector, look at the economy, look at the petroleum sector, the mining sector. I'm telling you, our future is linked to that sector. Zero development in that space. Our education system, our health system, all of that certainly needs to be fixed. And if you don't get good people coming in who are incentivized and motivated to contribute without the fear of witch hunt, which is almost a given in this country and is rare in other countries, by the way, then you have what you have.